Surprising reveals on Decor deals today. Hey everybody, I'm Kelly Wilkness here with Anita Joyce, and this is Decorating Tips and Tricks, episode 406. Designer decor deals on Amazon, and we have some really great decor items to tell you about today that are buried in Amazon, and we unearthed them for you. A few you may have tumbled upon before, but most of them, I don't think you have ever heard of these companies or these items.
Oh, and wasn't this fun? You know how we like virtual shopping.
Shopping. You know how we like a virtual shop.
Yeah, especially if you don't have to spend any money. Yeah.
I put a few things in my cart. I didn't pull the trigger on anything, but yeah, I got a few things sitting in my cart I need to look at more carefully later. Take a few measurements is what I need to be doing before I actually order up anything. But
yeah, I'm not going to lie. I found a few things myself.
Well, yeah, I have never thought of you as a liar. So good.
Oh.
I don't have to start now.
No.
This whole episode topic was spurred on by Anita's really interesting hot topic that we talked about in episode, 405, I think it was. So all about Amazon and how you have to sort of rethink it. And that was, whether or not you could really find luxury items on Amazon, whether luxury brands were ever going to get on Amazon. And it started us thinking about, hey, all these other things that are on Amazon and how we really need to rethink the whole shopping experience on Amazon. There are small companies braving Amazonia, but it's super hard to find them.
It can be, especially if it's a smaller company, just because of the algorithm on Amazon. They're going to show you first, if you search for a particular item, they're going to show you first the things that are selling the best and the things that have the most reviews, because that's what people want to see in the search results. So because of that algorithm, if it's some new company or some niche company or just some company that doesn't have a lot of sales, you're never going to see it because there's so many companies on Amazon. You really do have to know what to look for and what brands to search for.
Right. And, if you're searching for something that's, like a staple or something really practical, that's what a lot of people always thought about Amazon as. And so, those search results will be very plentiful. But if you're putting in something that's really a little specific, or there's not too many things on the marketplace like that, they may not even show you all the things that are there. So we dug deeper for you and for ourselves. and so we came up with a whole bunch of things today, specific items and brands in general that you may want to check out. And we noticed that some of the brands actually have almost their own little storefront. And some of them are done really well. It almost looks like you're on the brand's website, but there's all, in the Amazon type of template. But you get a really good sense of the design aesthetic of the brand if they have their own little storefront. Some of them you know of the brand and you type it in and it'll just come up each little item in its own little box, and there's no sort of glossy, splashy storefront.
Mm-hmm.
But either way, these brands are all interesting and ones that we think you'd really like to check out.
Okay, so the first brand, I've been calling this Sophia because neither one of us knew how the heck you're supposed to pronounce that. But I did find out how it is to be pronounced, and that is Sophia.
Sophia, okay.
No wonder we weren't getting that right. That's kind of a mouthful.
And this is one of the brands that I think has really sort of bubbled to the top. Obviously, if you listen to our podcast, we've talked to you about them before with having really great rug choices and things like that. So this one you may find on other websites as well. So it's not as well hidden as some of the other ones, but now that we know how to pronounce it, I'm sure even more people will know about it.
Well, and that is kind of the way it's spelled, Sophia. So, it's Safavieh. And I'm sure you've seen the brand around. And I don't know if you mentioned this, Kelly, but they do not have a storefront, but the items are there and you can search for that brand.
Right. And one of the things that they carry that I really like is the chunky jute rug. That is my fave, chunky jute rug. Mm-hmm. A lot of people ask me about that rug, and they carry it. The 8x10 is $200. which is a really nice deal for that size rug.
I found a couple that I thought were really charming. The Aspen green and red rug, which has a diamond pattern, and it's kind of more contemporary. And then there was a little, I would say this is a more transitional rug called a Micro Loop Collection Blue and Ivory rug. And it's just a two-toned pattern that's really pretty. So I thought those were two really lovely items. And, I found one more item that I'm going to mention because they don't have just rugs. Most of what they have there on Amazon are rugs, but they have a few other things. This is a glazed garden stool, ceramic garden stool. And you know how we love using garden stools in the garden. Inside, they make great side tables by chairs, just little things that you can set around the house, put books on, a tray. And this one I like because it's a little different shape than the traditional garden stool. And this one, let's see, I'm trying to think how I would describe this. Almost like a salt shaker, maybe.
Oh, so it has like a little, almost like a mushroom and has a little top on it?
Yes, kind of like a mushroom, only it's flat on top. Very good. And it has some texture on it. And this one comes in a kind of an aqua color that I thought was really pretty and a lovely texture. And the price was right. It was under $100.
That's a great price for a garden stool because sometimes you see them and they're like $300. I'm like, no, that's kooky to spend that much on a garden stool, but they are out there at certain places for that much. I use a white garden stool, ceramic garden stool in the shower in the barn. As you could put your leg on it if you're shaving your leg, or if you put shampoos on it, something like that. I love using it in there. It's obviously it's waterproof, it's ceramic, and lots of times they have a design where there's a cutout so the water's just sort of flowing in through it, doesn't get stuck in it or anything like that.
Well, you're interesting that you say that because I was in the outdoor center of Target yesterday, and although I know we're not talking about Target, but they had some little garden stools that look like wooden tree stumps.
Oh, cute.
And I thought, you know what? You could put that in the shower. Obviously, it's for outdoors, so
right.
It's okay if it gets wet. So I thought, that would be interesting.
Yeah. It's probably like a resiny type of wood, too, right? It's not really wood.
It could be. Yeah. Well, I don't know. It might have been more of a ceramic. I didn't really investigate that closely. I was just kind of whizzing by.
Okay, so here's a company that I am completely smitten by, and I didn't know anything about until we started to do this deep dive into Decor on Amazon. Kate and Laurel. They have a storefront, which is really lovely, and they have it sectioned off, rugs, lighting. They represent all the categories, really, all things decor. And I would say they are definitely very fresh, clean looking. It's almost a little Serena and Lily.
Yes,
without the Serena and Lily prices. Oh, so you found this one too? Yeah.
Yes, I have a few items for this one.
Okay, so small trays, accent tables, lots of things. They even had a bigger bench, but I think that is out of stock right now. So I found a bunch of things. I just couldn't even really stop myself. So I think you're all going to really like their shop, and the prices were great. So one thing that I loved is the round metal folding tray accent table. So it's a small in size, 14 by 14 and about 26 inches tall, $60.99, depending on the color. And I find that happens on Amazon, and you've all probably experienced that too. If you pick, the gray or the black or the white, sometimes it's more expensive than the mustard or the pink or the orange. Maybe it's just that the more popular ones they can charge a little bit more for. So it does vary in price from somewhere around 52, 53 up to around 61. The tray comes off, but it's also held on there with magnets, and the whole little table folds onto itself. It's absolutely adorable. So, the one that I'm going to link in the show notes is gold with a lacquered gray interior of the tray. They also have black, navy. I think there's white. There's pink. There's a bunch of different colors that you can get the tray made of.
Is it the Celia?
Think it might be.
And I told you we weren't going to have the same items, but actually I do have that one.
It's so cute. It's so cute. Because when I was looking, I was like, Anita would love this in the pink. So cute.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
Well, you want to tell one now, too, just in case we have more?
Yeah. So I found a tray that's really beautiful. It's a navy tray with gold handles.
Oh, might it be the Lipton tray?
It is the Lipton tray. Okay. All right. We're
All
two.
right. Okay. And I was like, oh, I like it in white. Anita might like the blue.
Oh gosh. And then you know how we love the windows or the mirrors that look like windows. So they had the
Right.
bold mirror wood window pane arch mirror, 28 by 44, the dimensions. So that would be large enough to act as kind of a faux window on a dark wall.
Oh, yeah. They had a lot of great mirrors.
Yeah, and just be careful on the prices, and because the prices often change on Amazon, going up, going down. So, it may not be the price that we mention on the podcast, especially if you're listening to this much later.
Right, that's true. Supply, demand, all that sort of thing. So, in the general sense, but don't hold us to it if they change the price, because the prices are often very strange. Like the Lipton tray in the white with the gold handles is $34.39. As of like today. Who knows, right? But it's still a good deal for that type of tray under $40. And did you see they had? I think it was a hexagon shaped one as well.
I don't think I saw that, but
Okay. So same color waves and the gold handles, but in a hexagon.
okay.
Very cool. And I have another item from them. Actually, I have two more, I think. The Doria metal wall sconce. So they're sold as singles, 21 3/4 by 12.5. It's to hold a candle. So I would use a flameless battery operated candle and a glass pillar, but it has this circular aspect to it, and it's nice and long, so it would really make a nice presence on the wall. But again, they're selling them as singles, and that is, as of the time we did our research, $38.48 for the gold.
So another brand that you're going to see across Amazon that does not have its own storefront is Surya, Surya, and that is also a brand you'll see their items in a lot of big stores all over the internet. And I have I have this poof at home, and I do like it a lot. It looks like it's made out of a Drury rug. It's a gray blue and cream colored pattern. And let's see what this one's called. It's just called Wool Poof in Denim. But that's something I have in my house that I really like. And then I found the Athena hand-tufted transitional area rug, which is in a blue and white pattern, and it kind of has some stylized, maybe kind of a canthus leaf look, but it's just a two-color pattern, which I love for a rug. So those are two items that they have.
I also have a poof from Surya, and mine is the chunky knitted poof. And these are more expensive than you would think it should be, really. But this was a good price because I did check these out. I once got a poof. I once had a poof.
Okay.
I once got
Did
a
you
poof
sit on it?
on super sale. And so then I was kind of spoiled for the price that I spent for it. I was like, I don't want to spend more than, $49 on a poof, whatever I spend on it. But I loved these chunky knit ones. And they do come in these fun pops of colors. Of course, I have a black one and just an oatmeal colored one. But this particular one comes in a bunch of different colors. The one color that popped out at me was the saffron yellow, because we've been talking about that being sort of a accent color of the moment. And it's $109.80, as of our research. It's 20 by 20 and 14 inches high. These are really fun, and they can add a real little touch of whimsy to a room, and super useful, and they don't squish down. I'm not sure exactly what's inside of them, but you can sit on them. You can put your feet on them. I wouldn't put a tray on them.
Actually, I have. Yeah.
But yours is different than mine, I think. Yours isn't
Mine's
the
square
knitted one, right? Yeah.
No, and it's very flat on top. But yeah, I've pushed these under tables that you can kind of pull out and sit on. I've had them up against the wall. I mean, they end up, like I said, I put a tray on it, and right now it's kind of an end table. But if we have extra guests, I can take the tray off, and then someone can sit on it, or someone can use it for their feet. So they're very flexible, and you can use them for a lot of different things.
Yeah, it's great for the extra seat. Umbria is another company that I found. They have very interesting, more sort of practical items, but practical items with sort of a twist. One thing that really jumped out at me as the Magino acrylic side table / end table / stool with storage. It's kind of a modern magazine rack, extra seating. It's very interesting. It's kind of something you would expect you might see in the Museum of Modern Art catalog or in their gift shop.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it actually did win a Housewares Design Award when it came out. It's very interesting. It's lucite. It's very thick for lucite, so it's a half an inch thick. It's
well, that's because you're sitting on it. That's why.
well, yeah, it has to be thick, right? So,
Yeah.
but sometimes you get something lucite, and even though they say you can sit on it, it's kind of some people could sit on
Questionable. Yeah.
it, right? But this looks very substantial. It's $139.49. Again, as of the day we did our research. It's about 16 and a half by 17 by 11 and a half. So picture the lucite having like a center where you might sit, or you could put your feet, or you could use it as an end table. And then it swoops down and kind of circles very elegantly back up. And in the back up part, it's open, and you can slide in books or magazines on the sides of where
nice.
sort of the legs would be. It's really cool. So definitely worth a look.
Very nice. Okay. So my next one is Bloomingville.
Oh, I found them too.
Okay, yeah. And they're based in Denmark, so they have very clean, simple designs. And some of them are Nordic, as you might expect. So they had a lot of, so it's kind of very modern looking things. So one of the things that appealed to me was a set of 3 round stoneware bowls. And you can get them in pink or mint green. And the thing I liked about it is that they had bamboo lids. So serve them in the bowl and then store them with the lids, and just pop them in your refrigerator. You don't have to change it and put it in a storage container.
Oh, I didn't see the bowls with the lids.
Yes.
That's cute. Okay, so I found 3 things that I really liked from them. And they are decor oriented and also really great for the nursery. If anybody's out there, with the little ones and wanting to add some interesting things to your nursery. The pink tassel pillow is definitely in my cart. It's so darling. It's really got big chunky tassels. It's on the small side, 12 by 12 by 4, $21.99. It's a really pretty dusty rose color, which is the accent color in my daughter's room. So I'm definitely going to get that. And then I really did like those the dainty ceramic ware. I thought that the patterns were very, fresh, kind of. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say Marameku because I'm not sure if I pronounced it right, but also because their patterns were always so big. These are daintier patterns, but really sweet and kind of along those lines. Very simple, maybe like a floral shape or something like that. And then you can mix and match them. So the Christina set comes with 3 different styles of plates that all sort of, they obviously go together. So maybe if you got 2 sets, and then you could mix and match, and maybe you get the pink bowls or something. It could be such a cute way to set your table, especially for the springtime. And the set of 3 dishes, which are dinner plate size, like 10 inches, $60.
The other thing, talking about the tableware, because I was very interested in that as well. And I kind of surprised myself because I don't really think of myself as a cactus lover. But did you see the tray with the cactus on it? It was so cute. I just thought it was very charming.
I didn't see that. No.
Yeah. And then I also saw a shiny brass pendant light, which I wouldn't think I would normally like that. But it almost looks like a gold wine glass that's turned upside down.
Oh, no, I didn't see that either.
In a shiny brass. So it's very interesting. I thought they had some very unique things. And I think that's what, we're looking for, is just some very fun, beautiful, elegant things that you're just not going to find just anywhere.
Right. And again, these stores are not necessarily big giant stores. They could be even sort of, mom and pop who just have taken a flyer and trying to compete on Amazon. So it's not a bad thing to support them, even though you're doing it through the vehicle of Amazon. So, Bloomingville, this little company in Denmark, they're giving it a whirl on Amazon, which is not an easy marketplace to be in.
True.
One thing that I found there that I also really liked was the black rattan stool. So really looks like it's really well made. It's a nice chunky rattan, 14 by 14 and 18 inches high, and that was $79.99. So I'm always looking for little seating now so we can tuck under things. And I'm thinking that might be a great little, like a side table in my kitchen next to that chair that I always have there. And then someone can pull it up to the table when we have, extra. My daughter has friends over and there's more than 4 people. And so I like to have flexible seating like that. And a poof would be too low, but the stool might just do the job.
Oh, yeah, that's a good thought there.
Don't you just love a great recommendation from a friend? Well, we're delighted to be recommending these companies and their wonderful products to you today. And let them know your friends at DTT sent you. BritBox just keeps getting better. The new Archie is amazing. And it's not the comics. It's about Cary Grant. Archie is the brand new limited series starring Jason Isaacs as Archie Leach, the man who became Cary Grant. From the award-winning screenwriter of Philomena, Archie tells Grant's born in Britain, made in Hollywood story, the dramatic grit to glamour transformation that led him to become one of the most famous people in the world. You are going to absolutely love the acting, but also the styling, the outfits, the scenery. It's the first time his story has been told in collaboration with his daughter Jennifer Grant and ex-wife Diane Cannon. The performances from Jason Isaacs and the rest of the cast are amazing, and it's only available on BritBox. So sign up for BritBox today to stream Archie and other fan favorites from any device. And we have a special limited time offer for our U.S. and Canadian listeners. Get 50% off, yes, that's 50% off your first month when you sign up for a monthly plan. But only if you go to BritBox.com and use our promotion code DTT at checkout. You're going to love Archie. So head over right now and get 50% off your first month of BritBox. Use the promotion code DTT at BritBox.com. Pesto pork chops over Parmesan polenta. Not that easy to say, but oh so easy to make with Green Chef. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit company for eating well, and we have such a great deal for you. You're going to save $250. Listen on for the details on that. Green Chef makes eating well easy for any lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat more balanced meals. You know, we're getting into the busy holiday season, so it's a perfect time to have Green Chef help you out. Let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season with their chef-crafted, nutritionist-approved recipes featuring fresh ingredients and nothing artificial. And you know what? You don't have to lose track of your healthy eating habits during the holidays. Every Green Chef customer gets a free session with their registered dietitians who will walk you through how to make clean eating work for you. So sign up for your free session and start on the road towards better health today. And that deal I want to tell you about, visit greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. So that's greenchef.com/DTT250 and use the code DTT250 for $250 off your order. Stone and Beam. Now, I think I talked about them once before when I did a crush because I had purchased some stainless steel pots from them. And I think, I was saying to you guys after Anita gave us a great lesson on what aluminum's doing and if your pots are chipping and all of this. And I decided to go with the stainless. And I'm very happy with the pots. They seem to sell a lot of different things on Stone and Beam. They have a storefront. So, again, it's a very nice interface when you're looking around for anything that they're offering, and they have it in categories and all that. There's a metal mesh living room table lamp that also comes with the shade. It's 10 by 19 tall, and it's this antique brass, and the shade is linen, and it's as the name would infer, it's mesh. So it's not chicken wire, but it's this goldish antique gold mesh. It's a really cool looking lamp, and it's $85.85.
Oh, good deal on that. Okay. Next item on my list. This brand is called Baxton.
Oh, I don't know that one. Okay.
They have some very interesting chairs. I see them all the time online, not just on Amazon. So I picked 2 of their chairs, one very traditional and one very modern. So one is what is this called? The Kavanaugh wood and linen French chair. So it's kind of a Louis XVI style French chair with the fluted legs, and it's got cream fabric on it. And very light colored wood. So it's got a wood frame with the cream fabric. Really beautiful, very French. And the next one is totally different. It is very modern. It's got brass legs and arms and navy blue velvet fabric. So it is called the Maria something. Navy blue velvet met lounge chair.
Ooh.
So yeah, very
kind of sexy.
Yeah, it's very unique looking, very kind of mid-century modern. Mm-hmm. And then do you have more?
I have one more brand that I found. Yamazaki Home. This kind of reminded me of one of my recent crutches, the Muji brand. Mm-hmm. It's also a Japanese lifestyle brand, very clean, minimalist. There's a lot of white with sort of pale wood accents. And the one thing that really jumped out at me was their tower leaning ladder rack. I think we even talked about that in one of the recent episodes about using a ladder or using it in a different way.
The tips, last time.
Mm-hmm. Right. So this is an awesome ladder because I have a very small wooden ladder, which is apparently, I was told, a chicken ladder. I've never seen a chicken go up a ladder.
What does that mean?
It was from a chicken coop. But I've had no experience with chickens, so I don't really know if chickens go up a ladder. But of course, I was like, I love this, and I'm buying it. And the woman's like, yes, it's a chicken ladder, and I was like, of course it's a chicken ladder. And then I was like, do chickens go up ladders? I don't know, but I have that. It's too small to hang a towel on because chickens are not that
chickens
big.
are small. Yeah,
chickens have small feet. And then I've seen some of the much bigger ladders, which are just like too big. So it's kind of like the Goldilocks situation. I never really saw a ladder that was going to work in my space. And I'm kind of pulling away from being as chippy and rustic in a sense as I used to be. I definitely do have some of those accents yet, but I've kind of gone more old world and meets modern now.
Right.
So this ladder might really do the trick. It's very slim lines, all in white. Has little rubber stoppers on the bottom so it doesn't slide around. It's 63 inches tall, which is just shy of myself. It's 17 and a little bit more than a half wide, and you can just basically lean it anywhere. It doesn't hold all that much, a couple of pounds maybe on each rung they're suggesting. So, but would be great for your show towels or even real towels that you let people use, or some of those Egyptian towels with the fringes that we love. Or I was thinking maybe even in a closet, your scarves, maybe even belts you could loop through there. Be really easy to see a lot of what your accessories that otherwise might get stuffed in a bin or a basket. So that one was really cool. It's did I say it was $50?
Okay, wow. Well, that was very interesting. Oh, no, I have two more.
Okay.
I have two more. One is Christopher Knight. Again, this is a brand of furniture that I see online a lot, and it's kind of similar quality-wise to what you would see like at a TJ Maxx or a World Market. Not a high-end brand, but you're going to get a good price on it. So they've got some French kind of Louis XVI dining room chairs, and the pair were less than $200. If I remember correctly. So
she says in hushed tone.
Well, I'm not even sure I trust my notes here. I'm going to go find it. Let's see. Set of two. Yes. Okay. I was correct. Wow. Better grab those. Really pretty. Gray fabric on those. I would totally buy those. And the last one, or did you have one? Are you?
No, I'm tapped out.
Okay, so I just have one more, and it's my favorite brand. I've talked about this before, Russell Hobbs. They are appliances made in the UK, but these have the plugs. They're for the US, of course. if you're in the US buying it, you're going to get the right thing. But they have basically 3 items: a toaster, a tea kettle, and a coffee pot, all in the retro design. And they have these come in black, white, red, and cream. And my very favorite color they call heavenly blue.
Oh.
Which is what I have the toaster and the teapot in. And
Their stuff is so darling.
It is. And I had some people out to the farm not too long ago. And as soon as one of them walked in the door, she went straight for it and said, "What is this?" She loved it. So it was like the first thing she noticed. That's right. I had to check bags when they left.
You're like, Kevin, where's the toaster?
That's right. I seem to be missing a rather large item.
Exactly. She seemed a little bulkier when she left. Let me jump back to the Christopher Knight line for a second. I do have a few things from them as well. And fun fact that one of our listeners, Chris, shared with us, I just pulled up her email from October. She says, "Did you know that, air quotes, Christopher Knight is really Peter Brady, or Peter Brady is really Christopher Knight?"
What?
Peter Brady from the Brady Bunch.
Oh my goodness. Oh, you know what? I think there was a picture of somebody, but I didn't read that part. I was kind of in a hurry.
Okay.
Stop it.
Yes. So Chris, just a little, this is a complete aside, but yes. So Chris tells us this in an email, because I think I have been talking about, I bought a bench from them. I think that chaise that I love in my,
it could be.
Could be. I have a few items for them for sure, from him for sure. So then remember, we got invited to that Digital Hollywood event, and I went and spoke there. Okay. And so they had a lineup of some other podcasters. And so one of the women, I was checking everybody out to see what their podcasts were about. And one of the women interviews kind of like, I don't want to say B-list, that's not nice, but like, celebrities that maybe, are burgeoning or kind of, beyond their prime. So, I mean,
beyond their prime. No, that's much more polite.
That's much nicer, right? So that was not nice either. Peter Brady, and
he probably lives near you.
He does. And he would admit to himself that, or to you, that he's beyond his prime. And her podcast with him was a riot. It seems so nice. And he was telling all about, did I ever tell you this? I don't even remember if I ever mentioned this to you, Anita. But I listened to the podcast, and he was telling all about how, like, he and Marsha would drive into, the filming together because they live near each other, and their moms would carpool.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, and then he talked all about how he ended up getting into this home decor line. And he just seems like such a nice guy.
That is awesome.
Oh, yeah, so I'll try to find that podcast. I'll have to really go back because I have to go look at my notes.
I want to go hear that.
I don't remember the name.
Because I see his stuff all over the place.
Yeah, and she had a couple, she interviewed a few other people, some of which I didn't know who they were, and other people, and their interviews didn't seem that interesting. I mean, he was just very entertaining. And it was just, we've all watched the Brady Bunch, right? So it was just really interesting to hear his take on, like, kind of what was going on behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I want to hear that.
Yeah, and it's a super long interview. But
kudos to him to reinventing himself.
I know. We love that. He needs to get on Jim's reinvention.
Well, exactly. Podcast. Of course. We'll see if we can hook them up.
Okay, so that was super fun.
Are you ready for the hot topic?
Well, I'm going to say I am ready for the hot topic, but I really got welled up when I was reading the article, and I'm having a little bit of a hard time with it.
It's kind of a rough topic. We've broached this topic before. It is basically, the title of the article is "Most of Your Stuff is Worthless. 3 things you should be doing now to reduce what you own." So it was a bit rough to hear, because basically the author of this article tells us all that all of our stuff is worthless.
Well, yes, and it's her opinion, but that's not the part that made me sad.
What made you sad?
It made me sad. Well, I don't want to get ahead of it. You start out, and then I'll tell you.
Well, she's saying most of the stuff in our houses is not worth anything. When we're gone, our kids are going to have to get rid of it. So, of course, that's just sad to be thinking of being gone. Then not only not being around, but then your kids are burdened with getting rid of all your junk, and that they're going to see it as junk. That's what this article is saying. So really she's saying baby boomers have gutted the market with their stuff. So anybody that wants to get rid of stuff, baby boomers or otherwise, can't do it because supply and demand. There's a big supply, and guess what? Very little demand because the generations coming after the baby boomers don't want this stuff. And the article was very down on brown furniture. The other thing they said. So let me get to the last point of the article, and then you can weigh in.
Okay.
So really, the key point of the article was to get rid of excess stuff that you have now, so that you're not a burden to your heirs when you're gone. And the one thing she said in the article that I completely 100% agree with is buy quality, not quantity. So spend on some really beautiful things. Don't overstuff your house with stuff. You don't need 15 things. If you buy one beautiful vase, then you don't need 20 vases. So just to get a few just really nice things for yourself, and don't worry about overstuffing your house. So that was the key point.
Yeah. That was the key point. It's a good article, and you guys should read it. And if you cry a little bit, you could email me. The reason why I got a little choked up is because I have to say, I go to estate sales a lot, and what is estate sale is what this woman is talking about. In fact, she references that her mother-in-law's things were all being packed up and having little price tags put on them. Right. And I just think about these people that, they're gone now, or they're in a home or something like that. And they spent all their years collecting whatever they collected. And now just people are just like picking over them, including myself. Right. But I try to be very, I'm very respectful of it, and I'm there because I'm excited, because if I find something, or a person that had like a kindred spirit to mine, and they collected things that I really like, and then I'm going to carry it on because I'm going to love it.
So don't you see that as kind of a way of honoring that person?
I do.
Seen their things as valuable.
Right. But that's the way I do approach it. I try to approach it that way. And then that's why I'm going, because I like old things, and I like to carry on, the tradition of somebody that maybe, we had the same taste. But it is kind of sad when you think about that, this is what happened. Here's a life worth of collections and a life worth of things that someone really loved. And now it's just being sold for like a dime a dozen to people who don't really care. Or they're trying to get $1 off it at an estate sale or something. It just made me sad. And then you think about, what's going to happen, and then I'm an only child. What's going to happen at that point when this happens with my parents? It made me very sad to think about all that. I don't think it's worthless either.
No, and my mother-in-law had so much stuff, and it was really, I have to say, she was very focused on her stuff and what was going to happen to it after she was gone. Right. And she implored us to keep the good stuff. And, it was just very stressful for me because, I didn't want to, I wanted to honor her request, but also I didn't want my house to become a junk shop. Right. And so when she was saying, basically asking us, will you promise to keep everything? I'm like, eyeing Kevin across the bed, like, don't say you're keeping everything. I'm like, my eyes were communicating, do not say.
Yes, I'm sure your eyes were communicating clearly what he was to say or not say.
Yeah,
oh my gosh.
But I understood that that was very dear to her. Right. She had spent and saved for these things, and they were very precious to her. So I understood that, and we did keep a lot, but we had to get rid of a lot. She had a lot of stuff.
But you can't. And you cannot be burdened down by other people's stuff. Like Mom, please, if you're listening to this episode, like the Hummels, like I just don't even know what to do. but
get a warehouse now. She's just ignoring that.
She's ignoring that. It is a really, it's touchy. It's, it's fraught with sentimentality. There's a lot of emotions going on there, but I think that this article is worth a read. I don't know who are all these baby boomers that are flooding the market with all this brown furniture and stuff, because I'm not a baby boomer, and I'm not also clearly not a millennial, but I think there's a lot of people in between that like a lot of these things. In fact, we did an episode highlighting the grand millennial style and how a lot of millennials are actually, turning to chintzes and turning to antique furniture and whatnot. So I don't know that this article is completely on target. I think that she's writing with a very broad brush.
Well, this whole thing, brown furniture, is she saying if it's not painted, it's no good? That's crazy.
Well, she's kind of saying if it's not mid-century, it's not great, but she's also not really saying anything, about the mid-century is so great either.
But again, right, and you have to see that all these articles are written from the author's perspective, and she probably would hate everything in my house because I have a lot of French things that she probably thinks are no good, but I love them.
When you're dead, that stuff's not going to be worth anything.
But I have to say, I have told
Anita, if I survive you, I will take on all your things.
Oh, thank you.
If Evie doesn't want anything.
Well, but I've told her. I said, when we're gone, I said, although she will have a hard time getting rid of things, but I've told her, don't keep anything you don't want. I said, just don't worry. I'm not going to care.
Yeah.
I'm going to have everything I want. So you do whatever you want with this stuff. I really don't care. Because it worries me about her being stressed about that.
Yeah. No, she shouldn't be. No, your mother-in-law did not take the right approach.
Yeah, it was a little stressful.
Sorry, B. That was probably not, she hadn't read this article. That was not. So a few things. Yeah, you mentioned some takeaways. One interesting thing that she said about books. Now, we love old books. We like to use them in our decor, all these things. But buying fewer books, there are a lot of people that have newish books or paperback books and they buy them, and you can get a good deal on a lot of books too. But this was interesting. I didn't know this, that a lot of times they can't recycle books. You figure, oh, it's paper, it's fine, it can get recycled. But I guess the glue that's used in the binding process does not take well in a recycling situation. So this, one of her tips is just to go to the library, which I know Anita does a lot, or read on your Kindle or on your device, which also Anita does a lot. So that might be just a good takeaway from here. And buying fewer but better quality clothes, like that. The whole fast fashion is a whole nother topic.
That's a whole topic
to be discussed. Yeah. But it's true. There's just a lot of junky clothes out there that you don't expect to last that long, and then
and it's all landfill. If it's $5. If it's $10 top, you're going to be throwing it out probably in 2 months.
Right. So anyway, really interesting. I'm really definitely enjoying this hot topic thing, even though this one made me cry a little.
Right. But I think there's some key takeaways and maybe it spawns some good discussions.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh. Okay.
Tell us your crush.
Well, remember when I went to London and I talked about it a lot?
I think
no, wait a minute.
All do.
Okay, I went to London. I talked about it a lot, and then I got called out for that by you, and then I said, I'm not going to talk about it anymore.
I love it.
But I have to bring it up because it has to do with my crush for today.
Well, I love that you enjoyed London so much, and I loved hearing
you lived
about
there for a while.
Yes, but I just love that you had such a great time. So I was not calling you out in a bad way. I just thought it was so fun that you enjoyed it. Go ahead, clean out your closet, then head straight to Quince. I love every item Quince offers, from wardrobe to decor, and I can really recommend their Ultra Stretch Super Wide Leg Pant at $49.90. The price is unbeatable, and the look is so flattering. It keeps you in on top and flares out of the bottom. Everything feels right with Quince. The price, the quality, and the sustainability. Quince offers a range of luxury wardrobe and home goods at prices within reach. And like Quince's clothing, their home goods are priced 50 to 80% less than similar brands. Quince only works with factories that use safe, ethical, and responsible manufacturing practices, along with premium fabrics and finishes. Once you've cleaned out your closet and refreshed with Quince, you can also add something to your home decor. So give your wardrobe and your home the refresh it needs with Quince. Go to quince.com/DTT to get free shipping and 365-day returns on your next order. That's Quince, QUINCE.com/DTT for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/DTT. And let me know how you love those pants. Green Chef is a delicious delight any time of year, but especially during the holidays. What a wonderful vision to behold as the Green Chef boxes on your doorstep. Green Chef is the #1 meal kit for eating well. And it makes eating well so easy with plans to fit every lifestyle, whether you're keto, paleo, vegan, vegetarian, gluten-free, or just looking to eat a more balanced diet. So let Green Chef take the work out of eating clean this holiday season. And if you've got guests coming, shop Green Bundles. They're now available at the Green Market. It's your one-stop shop for nutritious grab-and-go breakfasts, including vegan options, brunch kits, wholesome lunches, ready-to-eat snacks, veggie sides, and more. You can feel your best this December and do your best with Green Chef because they offset 100% of the delivery emissions as well as 100% of the plastic in every box. Go to greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT and get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months. greenchef.com/60DTT and use the code 60DTT to get 60% off plus 20% off your next 2 months.
Well, I really didn't intend to be talking about it some more, but when I was there, there was this little pink car that I thought was so cute. I took a picture of it, kind of forgot about it because I took it for Evie because it was a little pink car, and I, texted her the picture. So I just posted it on my Instagram account a few weeks ago, and somebody said, "Hey, did you know that car has her own Instagram account?"
Oh, stop it.
And I was like, what? And I'm thinking, how do they even know it's the same car? I mean, the world's kind of a big place. And,
kind of.
And London's kind of big. I'm thinking, how do they know it's the same car? Well, I looked, and the car has her own Instagram account.
Does the car have a name?
Well, the car's name is Lola.
Oh, perfect. Yes.
And I did go find her account, and she said, "Hey, you found me." So she messaged me back. So it's Lola the Pink Figaro. Lola Le Pink Figaro is the name of the car, but the Instagram account is called, Le Pink Figaro.
Oh, how cute.
So that's the Instagram account, and the car just goes all over London and just has
As
all
a
these
car
charming-
can.
As a car can. And then there's these charming pictures of the car in front of these really fun places, beautiful places. So it's a fun account to follow.
Oh, how fun. Oh, I have to tell my girls they will love it.
Oh, definitely.
It's
check
the
it out.
cutest car. A Figaro. I don't even know what that is. When I saw it on your Instagram, I just thought it was some sort of, older Mini Cooper or something like that. So
Well,
cute.
I didn't even know it was called a Figaro, but apparently that's what that car is called.
Oh, wow. Okay, I have a completely different crush. Okay, My crush is Knife Aid. This is a knife sharpening company that does it by mail.
Oh, I don't know if I could get rid of I don't know if I can send my knives off.
Well,
How
did.
soon do you get them back?
Within 4 to 7 days, all around.
Okay.
I'm going to see if maybe we can work together on the podcast or something like that.
Well, I have some knives that need to be sharpened.
Yeah, get some sort of special deal for our listeners. But anyway,
Okay.
I learned about Knife Aid. I say, hey, would you like to, try out our service? And I thought, I used to take my knives to the butcher, and for years he would just do them for you, kind of while you were purchasing something or whatnot, but they would never do serrated. And then they stopped that service. I guess they were just, too busy. People were coming in left, right, and center with their knives. And then there was a guy at our farmer's market, but it was hit or miss whether or not he'd show up with his van. And then, of course, you have to travel to the farmer's market with your tote bags and even though they're dull, your knives.
It's a little scary.
It's a little awkward.
Yeah.
So, yes. So I've just had dull knives for quite some time now. So I was kind of excited about Knife Aid, but a little nervous. So it was around the holidays. I was like, I can't give up my knives right now, but I will. And so they send you this, it's almost like a very large but very sturdy FedEx type of package. And then they have these special sleeves for all your knives, and you put them in there. And then the shipping is all taken care of in the price that you pay, which is I think it's like $59.99. And then you send them off. It's someplace in California, so I think it's in Orange County, San Diego area, or something like that. So mine came back pretty fast because I'm right here in California as well. You get them back razor sharp. They're packaged back up again. You even have a sticker on there of the person who sharpened them for you, and bam. Life changer. I can't remember when my knives were this sharp, particularly the serrated one. I don't think I've had my serrated knife ever been sharpened.
Well, I know, and I need my knives sharpened. I've got so many that need to be sharpened. I have I have Sabatier knives, which are, of course, French.
Oh, I didn't know. I didn't know that. I know about we all know about your toasters now, but I didn't know about your knives. I have German knives. But,
oh, yes. Well, that would be good too. Yes, but mine need to be sharpened. Mine are very dull right now.
And here's a little tip. I do have a couple of just extra knives. So obviously you want to have maybe one or two knives.
Save a few, right?
Yeah, either hold a few back. I mean, I think they give you, depending on the package that you purchase. So maybe it's 4
I can use
or 5
my cheap
knives
ones for a couple of days.
Yes, or just buy an inexpensive knife, for the couple of days.
Right.
It wasn't. I was like, oh, I don't know. When can I do this? What's a good time? And obviously during the holidays wasn't a great time, but it came back so fast. It really didn't matter.
Well, good. Well, that's true. And I mean, I'm not, using the knife a lot for every single meal, so I can just choose some meals that are coming up that, are not knife heavy use, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, well, that's a great idea.
Yeah. So a question is whether or not using blush pink in a limited color palette is a great idea. This is from Sarah. She is from Sarah T. She's from Miami. And Sarah's wondering, is blush pink a bad choice for an overall home palette?
I don't think, if that's something that she loves, obviously I would check with other people in the house. If there's a husband around, a lot of times
you live with a lumberjack.
Yeah, sometimes the men don't like a lot of pink in the house. And so I do try to, although my house is very French, I do try to be respectful. And the thing I was told to lay off of was the floral prints, which I did a long time ago.
Right.
So there's hardly any floral prints in the house. And so he felt like if I could do that, he could overlook all the other stuff. So that was our compromise. So I think the pink would just be, if that's something that you love, and people in your house are okay with that, then I don't see why that would be a problem.
Yeah, Sarah, I kind of agree. I'm wondering if she's asking, because it wasn't 100% clear in the email. So, is it because that sort of been a trendy color, or because, it tends to be feminine, or even thought of as more of a kid's color? For any of those reasons, if it's something that really resonates with you and you love it, of course, go for it. And using a limited color palette, as we talk about a lot, is a great idea. So maybe that is the smallest amount of color in your palette. So maybe you've got creams and, I don't know, even browns or grays or something like that. And then the pink is sort of your pop color. So if you were tired of it, or you wanted to pull back on it a little bit, you're not talking about removing a pink sofa. You're talking about removing pink pillows or a throw or something like that. So I would dip my toe in that way with a color like that. But, for me, really, I would do that with any color other than some neutrals in my palette. And as far as it being trendy, it's kind of lasted longer than I would have thought. It was blush pink. Then all of a sudden it was called millennial pink. And now we're seeing even some paint colors of the year are in that pink tone. So, it's kind of had more staying power than I imagined. So I don't think you'll be particularly dated if you use that. And just thinking about where you live, it's going to work in Florida, in Miami, right? If you lived in, I don't know, Minnesota or something like that, where maybe you wanted to have a more saturated tone, or it's really cold out and you feel like maybe greens or navies or something like that might be a better choice, I think in Florida the pink will work. I want to remind you that we are available for design consults. We take on your design dilemmas, questions, renovations, any project you want to talk about, any room, any space. We are here for you. And we really do enjoy doing these. And I think we've helped people a lot. So if you want to sign up for a consult, head to the link in the show notes. It's decoratingtipsandtricks.com/consult. We hope to talk to you soon.
So remember, we're here to inspire you to create a beautiful home. Until next time.